Hello students, today I am going to discuss with the ecosystem, that is the part of ecology. So ecology is the branch of biology that deals with the study of structure and function of nature. So in an ecosystem there are two basic components, primary components. So the components of ecosystem can be divided into abiotic component and the biotic component. So abiotic components are those components present in an ecosystem and are the non-living components. They are the non-living components, and the biotic components including the living component. The abiotic components are vast in nature because they can be divided into topography. These are the topographic factor, climatic factor, and edaphic factor. So climatic factors again can be divided into various types such as light, temperature, humidity, rainfall, wind, etc. The topography including the earth depressions present in the earth, that means the hill slopes. The edaphic factor including the soil. Therefore, abiotic factors have major role in a proper ecosystem functioning. The biotic factors are the living factors. All the living organisms are involved here, but how can we count all the living organisms in case of to determine the biotic factors? How can you count? There are innumerable biodiversity present on this earth. Therefore, we divided the biotic factors into three essential structures, that is the producer, consumer, and the decomposer. Probably you know the producer involved all the green plants, but you always skip about the photosynthetic bacteria. They are also the producers because they have the ability to photosynthesis. Consumer involves all the animal kingdom and decomposers including the bacteria and other microorganisms. Therefore, the definition of ecosystem is the interrelationship between the biotic and abiotic components, and their proper functioning. The interrelationship between the biotic and abiotic factors lead to their function. Functions may be different. It may be reproduction, food habit, and other activities. But to do all these functions, reproduction, food habit, and other all activities, they require a particular habitat. They require a particular area, and that is called the ecosystem. And the biotic and abiotic relationship between the organisms refer to the ecosystem in terms to a particular area. Particular area is important. So we can say ecosystem can be defined as a relationship between the biotic and abiotic factors per unit area. Now we move to the types of ecosystem. What are the different types of ecosystem? So broadly, ecosystem can be divided into two types, that is natural ecosystem and anthropogenic or man-made ecosystem. So natural ecosystem can be divided into terrestrial ecosystem and aquatic ecosystem. In terrestrial ecosystem, the examples are forest, grassland, and there are many. Aquatic ecosystem are pond ecosystem, lake ecosystem, etc. So now move to anthropogenic or man-made ecosystem. So it may be aquarium, crop field, etc. Now, what are the basic criteria of man-made ecosystem? So, man-made ecosystem has some unique characteristics. For example, in man-made ecosystem, they are very limited biodiversity. Number 2, very little recycling of matter, nutritive matter. And number 3, their high productivity, because we already limit those factors which have the adverse effect for our desirable production. There is another term called ecological need, which can be defined as the habitat of the organism where they function. It means the various functions of organisms limited to a particular area refers to these ecological needs.